Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I am bringing you the last installment for June for the Masculine Card Monday. So I have a scrap piece of white cardstock in my mini Misti here, and I am using products from the recent rainbow box from Brutus Monroe. These two stamp sets that I am using today are still available on his website for purchase separately since the kit is no longer available. This one that I am stamping is the tie-dye stamp. So I am inking this up using my Versamark ink. I'm stamping it a couple of times because this is the first time I've used this stamp. It's quite a detailed stamp, and I want to make sure I get a good impression. So I am just making sure to press this down everywhere. I am then going to coat this with some black Recollections embossing powder. I have been slowly growing my embossing powders, and I don't have a really good black, so this is all the black that I had on hand, so we're going to make it work. But make a note, I need to order some Brutus Monroe black embossing powder. So I'm just going to funnel that back into the jar because I will make sure to blow that everywhere if I don't. Then I'm going to heat set that with my heat tool until it's all smooth and melted. So with embossing powder, once you put it on, it's all kind of grainy and dry looking, and when you heat it up, it melts and it gets really smooth and shiny. There's just something magical about heat embossing, especially if it's a metallic embossing powder. So when I got this kit, the first thing I thought of was some rainbow stamping with this stamp, but I was like, I think I'm going to do some like a resist technique. So what I'm going to do is take some Simon Hurley inks in Bee Sting, Traffic Cone, Slippery When Wet, Later Gator, Clear Skies, and Triple Berry, and I am going to just randomly use one of my makeup brushes and put these colors just wherever because it's tie-dye, and when you do it, they all come out different, so there's no right or wrong. You could do this in any color combination that you wanted. I just thought we'd go with rainbow because that was the theme of the inspiration box, and who doesn't love a good rainbow? So I'm going to get all of these colors inked down. Some of them I do go over multiple times. A few of them I leave faded because the embossing wasn't perfect, so it does look like an old faded t-shirt. So we're going to just continue to work through all of these colors. I'm using that little rag to my right just to wipe off this brush in between the colors so that I don't make, a nasty brown. So we're just going to keep inking these up, working our way through. And I love these inks. These are really awesome. They blend beautifully, so I highly recommend them. They do now carry them at Brutus Monroe if you're interested in getting them there, but there's multiple suppliers that carry these great inks. I actually bought all of mine from Ranger. When I signed up with my email, I got a coupon code, and I saved quite a bit of money, and I bought the new and old collection. Shh, don't tell my husband. So we're going to finish up with the purple, and then once that's done, I'm going to take one of my square dies from Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to tape that down using some painter's tape, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine just to get a nice square. Then I'm going to attach this to a white panel, which is slightly larger. We're going for a square card today. The card ends up being a 5x5 card. I believe that was a 3-inch panel for the tie-dye. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But they go up slightly, and then I'm matting that entire thing onto a black panel, which is Raven cardstock from Brutus Monroe. I'm just using regular adhesive for this. And then the Groovy Friend stamp set that came in the inspiration box, but like I said, is available separately. I'm going to put that in my Misti and stamp it down twice using Gina K amalgam ink. And then off screen, I am going to color that with my Arteza Everblend markers and cut it out using my Brother Scan and Cut. This is a cute hippie image. It's got a peace sign on the shirt. So it was fun to color. It was the first time I think I'd actually colored hair. So I've used some different techniques that I've watched other people who've colored a lot longer than I am. Just use some flicking and a little stippling on the beard to give it a little texture. But otherwise it was pretty simple coloring that I did. So we're going to get that. Boom, there it is, all colored and done. I am going to take the sentiment from this stamp set that says "Have an awesome day," and I'm going to stamp that using the black ink from Gina K. I do have to stamp it a couple of times. I actually end up flipping the panel over and restamping it because the first time it just didn't want to stamp well in the awesome section. But I cut that out. There's no need to watch me stamp it more than once. I am going to take my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer and I will cut that panel out, cut it down. And I just used the plastic guide as kind of my guide of where I put the words right up to that, and then I cut, and then I will do the same for the sides. I put the words right up against that clear plastic and then cut, and then everything is evenly spaced when you're doing your trimming. Just a little tip for you. I'm going to adhere this entire panel down using my tape runner. I will also adhere the sentiment flat down. I thought about popping that up, but I went with just popping up the stamped character. So we're going to get that adhered down. I debated whether to put this in the center, off to the right, and after some consultation, phoned a friend, opted to put it in the middle. And then it's not shown in my final picture because it was an afterthought that I decided to do. I did add some glossy accents to the glasses to give them some shine, but by the time I was all done, it hadn't dried yet. So I will post that picture on Instagram when this goes live. As always, I hope that you have a great day.